Hey everybody, what is going on? It is Aaron Trevino here in Austin, and we have Ivan, who's also living in Austin. What's going on, Ivan?
Hey man, what's up? How are you today?
I'm just fine, just fine. I think it's starting to rain a little bit.
I know, I think this weekend's gonna be raining Saturday
I,
and Sunday.
I didn't realize until about 20 minutes ago, someone just
Yeah.
texted me there's a tropical storm.
Yep. Yeah. I didn't even know either until my wife told me. She's like, "Oh, that this weekend's gonna be raining." I'm like, no, I didn't even know that. I was like, until right now that she told me. But yeah, it's good. I think it's going to hit really hard
Oh
based
wow.
on what she told me. But we will see.
Huh. I had no idea. Okay,
Yeah.
well, we'll take care of that after the interview. But yeah, so Ivan, could you just tell us a bit about yourself, what you do?
Yeah, totally. Well, I was born and raised in Mexico. I came with a student visa back in 2010. I went to college. Well, first of all, I went to this English school because I didn't speak any English at all. Just like really basic stuff, like, hey, how are you? My name is really basic stuff. Then I went to college. I went to college in Chicago. I was there for about 4 years. I do have a bachelor's degree in interior design. Um, and then in 2015, I decided to move to Austin. My uncle is a civil engineer. He told me, hey, Ivan, you know what? I think right now it's a good time for you to move to Austin. There's so much going on, so much construction going on. I feel like you will be able to land a good job opportunity. So I was like, okay, let's just test it out and see how it goes. So I moved to Austin in 2015. Then I met my wife, and then we had a kid. His name is Sebastian. My wife's name is Laura. Um, and yeah, it's been a fun adventure.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. That's awesome. Where in Mexico are you from?
Mexico City.
Mexico
Yeah,
City. I went
yeah.
there. I went
My parents
there.
still live there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I get to see them probably like 2 or 3 times a year. But right now I haven't seen them in a while because of COVID. So it's complicated.
Yeah, yeah, I would imagine that's pretty tough. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was down there. I was in Mexico City 4 years ago.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, so much history, a lot of nice museums, parks.
Yeah, man, the food is the best.
Yeah.
we, we went last year, and I remember the first night we went out to eat. I ate so much. The next day I was like, oh man, I regretted so much eating this much.
Yeah.
You know, like I just couldn't stop. Like I missed the food so much. Like I was
Yeah.
like, let's take advantage of it and just eat as much as possible. Yeah,
Yep, it's tempting, man. It's tempting.
yeah.
But I'm just interested. So your transition from Mexico, so from Mexico, you got your student visa to Chicago.
Yes, well, I actually lived in Goshen, Indiana, which is like a really small town. There's really nothing to do there. But I was there for about 1 year, and then I moved to Chicago, and then I was in Chicago for about 4 years.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I know you mentioned you studied interior design. What was it? Did you know that back in Mexico you liked interior design, or how did you get into that?
Honestly, like even when I was about to go to college, I wasn't even sure what to do. But I feel like my dad had a impact on me because he's a civil engineer too, just like my uncle. And I remember my dad would bring this like blueprints and lay them on the table, and I would see them how he used to draw everything by hand, and that really called my attention. I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. How like that's pretty much considered like art, you know? Everything done by hand. So that pretty much like sparked something in me. I didn't want to become a civil engineer just because it requires so much math. I was like, I don't want to be dealing with too much math.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like seeing those blueprints and then understanding the the homes and everything. I feel like that was something that sparked uh, my interest for interior design.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So when you were in Chicago, what were you a part of any projects, or was there anything that kind of led you to, did you know that you always wanted to work in real estate, or what got you to this point?
So the reason when I was in Chicago, I did work for an interior design company, and I was there for about 6 months. When you have a student visa, they kind of limit you how much time you can work unless you become like a working like unless you get your actual working visa. So I was only able to work six months. So in that process, I tried to learn as much as possible, but I really started getting more attracted to interior design. I mean, to real estate when I was here in Austin. I was working for this company named the Tile Shop. They pretty much just offer tile. That's all they do. They do tiling. So I was working as a salesperson, and I did work with a couple investors that they were real estate agents as well, and they would bring like their customers, and we would pretty much just walk the entire warehouse and just putting everything together for the client, and knowing that the real estate agent was pretty much selling the home, and then he was helping the client find something that they liked, like the tile and everything. So I like how you can in real estate you can do a little bit of everything related to homes, home construction, interior design. So I feel like that's what really intrigued me about real estate.
Yeah, absolutely. It's neat how you kind of had that progression from, being interested, seeing your dad's plans when he was an engineer to going to Chicago, and then you working for the tile company. You've
Yeah.
almost come full circle.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's like the long-term goal here. Well, my long-term goal, just to be able to provide a whole scope of the project. For instance, like if I have a client that is looking to buy land, I can find something for them. Then I can pretty much like if they want to do like a custom homes, I want to offer that service too. So I have even considered going back to school to get my master's in architecture, just so I can have like a bigger scope of projects that I can offer or services that I can offer.
Sure, sure, absolutely. So what intrigues you about I know, you know, interior design is obviously focused on the inside of the building and the way it looks, but what intrigues you about architecture?
It's just the beauty of it. Like you can do so much with exterior, and you can play with the shapes. You can play with multiple products. You can combine multiple products as well, just to come up with a really nice home. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of different I mean, obviously you live in Austin as well, so you know how there's a lot of different projects going on.
Yes. Everywhere you go, there's construction. Uh, there are so many remodels going on too. Many new communities opening too. So I mean, there's really so much going on here in Austin. It's a good time to be here, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are you seeing in the market right now, or what do you foresee in the future for Austin?
Well, I do work full time with a interior design company. We are called New Edge Design Studio. We work directly with the builders. We do their model homes. And lately, since we're going through COVID, I have seen that builders are changing their floor plans a little bit. They would only use to offer like 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, stuff like that. But I feel like now they're including like specific areas to make them a working office, a working space. Just because like there's a lot of people that still work from home, so um, I know like in some cases they might not have the space in their home to work from home. So it's a good idea for builders to start bringing those like study spaces or office spaces back into their floor plans. Or even investors, I feel like they will get more money once they start finding those properties that have like even like a bonus room and just transform that into a study or office space. I feel like that would be a huge plus.
Yeah, I didn't even think of this until last week until someone mentioned it. But yeah, I mean, you think, COVID has kind of changed a lot of the rules to the business. Um,
Yeah.
and you kind of, I mean, let's assume you have a family, you have mom, dad, and a few kids. Mom wants her own office space, dad wants his own.
Yep.
Meanwhile, they're taking care of the kids as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So having a designated office space or study will be very convenient for all those people who still work from home. Um, but yeah, it's something that I would recommend.
Sure. So for you, are you working from home right now, or are you still going to the office, or
Uh,
what's your
I'm
day to
still
day?
going to the office. It's a small company. We are about in the office. We're about 6 people, and we do have our spaces. So um, we do follow the protocol and everything. But yeah, I mean, right now it's just beautiful to drive in Austin. There's really not. It doesn't take me that long. Uh, it's just I just enjoy it better than when it's just too crowded.
Yep. I was my birthday is in early May.
Yeah.
My birthday Cinco de Mayo, but I remember I was driving I live North Austin, so I was driving south to San Antonio, and I was just, there was no one around me. I had never
Yeah.
seen the street so open.
I know, especially 35. Like you never see it like that until during this period where there's really nobody driving out there. I
Yep.
love it. I wish it would stay like that all the time, but
Yeah, you never know. You never
yeah,
know.
yeah.
But yeah. So could you tell us a bit more about what you do? I know you mentioned how you have your day job, but what do you? I know you mentioned how you do some agent work. You're looking to start investing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so I do have a full-time job. I do real estate on the side. I try to wake up early in the morning, just so I can spend some time just reading articles, researching the market, pretty much keep everything up to date of what's going on, what's happening, what's the value of the properties, stuff like that. Uh, but then I do work 9 to 6. Then when I get off, I try to spend some time with my family too. And then if I do have time later that afternoon, I spend a couple hours on just the computer, like watching YouTube videos, everything I can learn off from, just anything related to real estate. Plus, my brokerage also offers YouTube videos for training purposes. So I'm constantly watching those videos, trying to absorb as much as possible and just pretty much connecting to as many people as I can. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the future of brokerage as well. It seems, just that onboarding process of having a new agent. I guess since you can't be in the office, or most people can't be in the office with their broker, a lot of
Yeah.
times, you watch the videos and practice and do it yourself.
Yeah, totally. And I see that too because I mean, right now we don't, our brokerage doesn't have an actual office. So everything is done through online. Like whenever we have training, we just log in, we watch the videos. If we can't log in to watch the video, they will just post them later on YouTube. And we can just work it out like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, it's definitely changed in terms of everything is almost really social media heavy right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's another thing. I feel like if you're a brand new agent, I do recommend to just getting to like just learn how to use Facebook at like Facebook ads, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just feel like more people are connected to their social media right now, so I'm just trying to. I've been throwing a couple campaigns here and there just to see how they work out. I did get a couple leads, about 4 people that were interested in buying a home. So I'm working with them currently, so we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So for you, is there a particular part of Austin that you like to that you focus on, or where are you looking to?
Yeah, I do prefer north, like Manor, Pflugerville, Round Rock, Leander, Cedar Park, but pretty much like the skirts of the city, just because, like I said earlier, there's just so much construction going on. And the good thing about my full-time job is that we are always aware of what the new model is going to be, what the community is going to be like. Because, like I said, we work with the builders, so every time they have a new model home, they send it to us, and then we are in charge of doing their model home. Like we decorate their model home, so it's good to know what the model is going to be and what's going to be offered. So that's why I like to stay on the skirts of the city.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, before coronavirus hit, I was back in February. I was driving through Leander, and
Yeah,
there's so much growth out there, you know.
yeah, you would never think that was going to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just construction everywhere, everywhere you go right now. And
absolutely.
now even things are gonna get even better now that Tesla has will have their own factory here. That's going to bring so much business, so much construction, so many positions available. Man, it's going to be great.
Yeah, yeah. That's in Southeast Austin, right?
Yes, I think it's by the valley. That's where it's
Okay.
going to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. That'll be yeah, a lot of big plans for the city, huh?
Yeah, I mean, and then you will have Apple headquarters coming to, or I mean, their factory, and then you also have the soccer team coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
That's
so
it.
much going on, man.
So where do you see it's difficult to tell because a lot of people are moving in different directions in Austin, but where do you see a lot of the growth where people are wanting to live?
Uh, I mean, Leander's one of them, just because there's so much construction there. I would say Leander. Um, which other part? Like maybe even Manor. I mean, I currently live in Manor, and down the road there are a couple constructions. There are a couple new communities going on too. Um, Pflugerville. Um, yeah, those are where I have seen the most construction.
Yeah, absolutely. It kind of seems like the city's spreading out. You know, you have Leander, even a lot of people moving towards Hutto,
Yeah.
um, Round Rock
Mhm.
too. But yeah, a lot of growth.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
So
Mhm.
what do you think of you're with Trey Holmes, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think of Trey Holmes so far?
I like it, man. I enjoy working with them. It's I really like their concept that they're not like, oh, you have to be to the meetings, you have to be at the office, you have to. They're not on control of you. You're pretty much control of your own schedule. You know if you're working or not. And like I said, like they offer like free training even for like investors, agents who are just starting. Like you can you can find them online on YouTube, and they post every single they have. They post them on YouTube, and it's for free. They also have Matt Taifkes, our broker, and I think you have worked with him before, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So he's a man. He's a busy man. But yeah, he has so much going on too. So, and I like the fact that he is. Tree Homes was a property management company before, and now it's moving more into like the broker side of real estate. Like it's going to become a real estate agency. Well, it's already a real estate agency. So I feel like we're moving up in order to get more awareness in the Austin area.
sure, sure, absolutely. You know, and there's so much room to I guess to grow in Austin. What do you I don't know
Yes.
what do you make of all, you know, there's been a lot of changes with coronavirus in the
Yeah.
way that, you know, people do business or the way that buyers are kind of changing their preferences. What future changes do you think we'll see in the housing market?
Um, I, I'm kind of, this is just my opinion, but I think that open houses are not going to be here anymore. Just because, like, I mean, you can now record the video, do like a really nice virtual tour of the entire house, just post it online, and you will have more people will have access to it rather than waiting for the Sunday or the Saturday for the open house. But I mean, I still think that open houses will give you that kind of like feeling when you drive through the neighborhood to see how it feels, to see the home in person, to like um, there's just something about being there physical. I remember my wife and I, when we were looking for our first home, we went to this community and it just didn't feel like home. So I feel like once you go to the physical place, you will be able to feel it. But I'm afraid that open houses are going to disappear just because all the virtual tours that now real estate agents offer.
Sure, understood. So when you say that the other community you went to, it didn't feel like home, what do you think that was? What was the problem?
I'm not sure, honestly. I feel like there was just something whenever we went to that community, it just didn't feel like home. Um, there was just something that didn't feel right. Not saying that the community wasn't nice, but it just didn't feel like it was meant to be for us for some reason. And then we came across this other community, and as soon as we drove in, like we liked we just felt like we clicked with that community. And it was a brand new construction too, brand new community too. There were not very not very many homes, but it just felt so much better for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a personal preference, like anything else.
Yeah, totally, totally. What about you? What are your thoughts? Like, how do you think the market is shifting? What would
Yeah, so there's definitely been a lot of changes. Um,
yeah,
I think it's hard to tell kind of the way that people will move because it kind of seemed like before you have a lot of the younger professional people, they want to be close to the bars, to the restaurants, they want to be near the action downtown. So they'll move to, near the Congress area, South Lamar, fill up
yeah,
those apartment complexes or buy them. And, I guess maybe as they get older, they want to move out to the suburbs.
yes,
Maybe they want to slow down. And then even some people aren't even going to the suburbs. They're wanting to move to rural areas because they're thinking, okay, well, I can move, if I can work remote and I don't need to report to an office, why don't I just buy raw land and build a home on there, you know?
yeah, yes, yeah. I see that happening too. Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like they are aware that they don't really need to live downtown now that they can work from home. So most people are trying to buy land outside, or even like new construction, just buy them outside and work from home. I see that happening.
Yep, yep, definitely. I was even talking to a friend of mine. He's a builder in Houston. He was mentioning how he had a lot of people from, kind of the inner loop in Houston who lived in nicer areas, like River Oaks or a place like that, and how they're wanting to move to West Houston, and they want to be out in the country. They just want some fresh air and just to have some space.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I see that happening. Hmm.
But yeah, a lot of big changes going on. I guess the way people are doing more on social media. Buyers are wanting more. How you mentioned they want two offices in their house.
Yeah.
Um,
I also think that right now it's a good time. If you have equity in your home, I feel like it's a really good time just to pull it. I mean, if you're interested in like cash flow, and if you do have positive equity, I think it would be a good time just to pull that equity and buy new construction. Like I was working with this client that was looking for a home to rent, and literally in one weekend we went to see about 5 houses. Out of those 5 houses, 4 were brand new construction. Like nobody has lived there before. they weren't even ready to be moved in. They were going to be ready by the end of this month. And it's funny to see those houses being rented because I'm sure like the owner either put some money down or pull their equity out just to put it as a down payment and rent the place out. So I mean, if you're smart about it, like if you pull your equity, you can get a really low uh, rate right now and just put it towards a home and just rent it out. Um, I mean,
Yeah.
somebody else is going to be paying for your mortgage. Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like
absolutely.
it's a good strategy if you're interested in like the cash flow of real estate.
So let's just assume that someone is maybe starting out for the first time. They're trying to kind of figure out a plan. Could you explain, equity, pulling out equity, and what you can do with that and how you can fit that in your longer term plan?
Yeah, totally. So, and correct me if I'm right. Like I said, I'm a brand new agent. I'm still learning, but home equity is pretty much when the value of your home has overpassed the your initial loan. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can pull that equity, put it towards use it as a down payment for your second property, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then it's pretty much like a loan, and then you eventually just pay it back. Yeah.
So
Is that
yeah,
is
yeah,
that
yeah. So
yeah?
what's the idea? Once you do that, you do more, or what are you?
I mean, it depends on how many properties you want to acquire. It comes down to that. I mean, you can always pull the equity and move to the third property, and just keep doing that until you. But I think you do have a limit of how many mortgages you have under your name, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, I think max is four, or
It can be.
it can be. Yeah,
Yeah, it kind of
but yeah,
depends on the lender, but yeah.
yeah, it just comes down to like um, how much passive income you want to have.
Sure. Yeah, no, that can definitely be a good strategy to have. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I had a friend just talking about that just a few hours ago.
Oh, really? What did he say, or what was his opinion?
Yeah, I mean, he broke it down. I mean, you did a terrific job of explaining it. Um, but yeah, he kind of broke it down like that. And I mean, he's just trying to. He was telling me, Aaron, that Aaron, I want to draw out a 5-year plan. So we were bouncing a few ideas on how to I guess make that 5-year plan and what would be in it.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And he's also interested in like investing.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, he lives in Dallas, and he bought a cheap house that needed some work. He fixed it up,
Yeah.
and and now he's working and now he's living in it.
Oh,
Um,
that's,
so
yeah.
finishing up school, looking to potentially come back to Austin, um, because he originally did live here a few years ago. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so we were just bouncing a few ideas off.
Nice. Nice. That's good. That's good.
So what's next for you? What's your what are you looking forward to in the future in the market here in Austin?
Uh, right now I'm just focused on first-time home buyers, new construction. But I do want to eventually have my own LLC so I can start buying a couple investment properties here and there with my wife, so we can eventually have extra income coming in. So that's pretty much like the long-term goal. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, a couple rental properties, and if possible, start doing some construction too.
Okay. Yeah. No, I know you mentioned how you and obviously you have your experience in Chicago with everything that you learned and working with with the tile company, and you have all these experiences and engineers in your family. It seems like new construction would be a great fit for you.
Yeah, yeah, and I have talked to my uncle. Like I said, he's an engineer, so he was even considering partnering up with me just to built a couple houses here and there. Yeah, we just need to raise capital first.
That's right. That's what it takes.
Yeah, yeah. So we're working towards it, and hopefully it will happen eventually.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting because I know that at least I can't say a lot of people, but this is just kind of what I've been hearing from a few friends is that people who maybe have been flipping houses recently, maybe they aren't finding those deals, or maybe the spread could be bigger, and they're figuring, hey, I can make more money if I just start building houses.
Yeah, build them and just sell them out, or even rent them. Um, yeah, that would be ideal.
Sure. Yeah, well, that's exciting too because I mean in Texas our inventory is so low compared to how many people live here and want to move here.
Yeah, especially demand. I mean, people are just buying houses here and there. Has I'm glad that the market hasn't stopped for us. That people are still buying homes. They're still moving. They're still selling. It's a good thing for Austin.
Yeah, absolutely. So is there, let's see, that's about it on my end. Is there anything that, that you haven't talked about that you'd like to say?
No, I mean, if I'm always eager to hear what other people have to say. So I would like to connect. If you're an investor, if you're a brand new agent, if you're a loan officer, whatever you do, just feel free to reach out to me. I'm always here to connect with more people, just so I can have uh, more involvement with the real estate industry.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. So Ivan, where can maybe someone's listening to this, they want to know how to get a hold of you. Where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube. I'm sorry, you can find me on Facebook. I have Instagram. I have LinkedIn, and I can give you the links if you want to post them. That way, they can just click on them and send them directly to my profiles.
Yeah, of course. I'll make sure to put that in the description.
Awesome, awesome.
But yeah, that's all I've really got. Ivan, it's been great chatting with you about Austin, and future's pretty bright, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a ride fun. A fun. Yeah. But yeah, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to see this video, see how it turns out.
Yeah, absolutely, Ivan. Have a good one. Talk
Hey,
soon.
thank you. You too. Have a good night.